Welcome in, everyone, uh, to the Storycraft Cafe slash Dabble Wordsmith Workshops weekly wrap up. Is that an alliteration enough for you?
Yeah,
Um,
it works.
yeah. We are your host, Hank Garner, Doug Lansborough, here to recap this exciting week's events, talk a little bit about what is yet to come, and hopefully have some conversation from you wonderful viewers and listeners who have tuned in with us. Doug, it's been a crazy week. Crazy
It
exciting, though. How's
has
it
been.
been?
It's been a heck of a week. It
Yeah, it has.
when we kicked it off, there was so much excitement both from ourselves and from everyone that tuned in, and that just carried throughout the week. If not, if it didn't get stronger, right? If it
Yeah,
didn't grow, and so it was just. I think the reception to this and the events that we have already been running have just been a lot of fun.
a
And
lot of fun.
I hope, and from what I've heard from people, they've been very informative and very helpful. Um, and yeah, so I guess let's just start with a recap of what we have done. Chris, we love seeing Chris in the chat.
Hello, Chris from London.
And that's one of the things that I've actually, across all the events, just the engagement with people in the chat, all the authors dropping in, saying hello, telling us about their work, chatting with one another. That's honestly been one of the coolest parts
Oh, yeah,
um,
for
throughout
sure.
all of the events. But I guess yeah, let's recap the week. We started on Monday with our kickoff, and we had a nice chat, you and I, about things that have been important in our author journeys and how we're taking those elements and bringing them to Dabble Premium in the form of events and workshops. And yeah, Patricia's in here too. Hello, Patricia. Um, Tuesday. Tuesday was exciting. Tuesday, you had Ines in for a workshop, right, Hank?
Yes, and Ines Johnson, if you've never had the opportunity to see her, to hear her, a wealth of knowledge. And the thing that I love about Ines, one of the things that I love about her is she's so full of knowledge and wisdom, but delivers it in a fun and a fun way that just makes absorbing all of that from her so much more palatable, so much makes it
Mhm.
more usable, because you have fun while learning something, and is amazing that way.
Absolutely. And it was really cool seeing in her workshop how like you look at authors that are successful, whether
Yeah,
they're big names like we've said Stephen King a couple times this week, or maybe they're just the six-figure indie authors, just right, not
yeah,
to be
yeah,
reductive, but
right, right.
um one day
Just
one
people
day I'll get
handling
there.
their business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just yeah, pursuing their living their dreams. No, but
right.
you see them and you think, wow, like that's a superstar. That's someone who has this level of success and things have just lined up for them. But Ines showed us that she had so many quote unquote failures or speed bumps along the way and
Right.
has still found that success, which I thought was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, and Ines, was not afraid to put those speed bumps out for everyone to see, and
Hmm.
even things that she currently, like, things in her workflow now that she's still getting feedback from her readers, finding out whether this is working for them or not, and then taking that information and figuring out ways to pivot and, to maybe repurpose some things that didn't work, and
Hmm.
maybe she repackages it or re-edits it in a way that is more palatable to her readers, and even identifying, I think one thing that I found really helpful was she's identified in her kind of scope of readers that she has a couple of different tribes within her tribe, that
Hmm.
this group of people likes this group of people likes that, so let me figure out a way to cater to them and then cater to them, and really she's developed a great working relationship with her readers, and that was something that I found really helpful.
Yeah, and she treats her readers like the fans that they are, right? It's not
Right.
just that they're customers or anything. It's, hey, these are
Exactly.
people that are supporting my dream and they each have their own particular interests. So I'm going to, if I'm not writing it, then she does the newsletter swap so that they're engaged with her while reading stuff that they love.
Yes.
So if you're in the chat right now and you haven't watched Ns's workshop, it is on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
It was on Tuesday, so
Yeah,
it
while
should be
while
right
you're
near the top.
looking, Doug, I'm gonna find the link and I'm just gonna post it in there to make it easy for folks. So
Excellent. That's fantastic. So Hank will get us sorted on that. It is definitely worth the watch. I think it was about 45 minutes long, maybe a
I
little
think so,
bit longer.
50 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, give that a watch or bookmark it for later because it was very informative. And Ines is a six-figure self-published author, so she knows what she's
Yes.
talking about. You're learning from the best there.
Yep.
Then Wednesday, we had our first writing sprint Wednesday with Robert. We forced him into the hot seat despite him not feeling super well at the beginning of the week. So that was a lot of fun. Like I said, I got 1,000 words written during that. So I think it was a booming success. Um,
Absolutely.
but we
And
will,
and and Robert was not afraid to put his
no.
words in progress on the screen, and
Yeah.
he laid it all bare. I've gotta hand it to him. That was, that took guts and he modeled it for everyone.
I sometimes feel uncomfortable if I'm typing in like a coffee shop thinking, oh, I wonder if
Right.
someone's looking over my shoulder and reading. He's putting it on the screen so everyone sees he made a
Right,
comment
right.
saying, oh, Doug's probably seeing every mistake that I'm making. I was writing my own stuff, so I didn't get to point it out
Yeah.
to him, but maybe I'll
Yeah,
just
I'm
watch
I'm
next
I'm afraid somebody in a coffee shop's gonna think I'm a weirdo or something, and
time.
he just
What
let
kind of
his
stuff are you
freak
writing,
flag
Hank?
fly. Yep.
So that was on Wednesday, and we will be doing that every Wednesday with Robert going forward. Time next week to be confirmed, but we will shoot that out shortly.
Yeah.
Um, but something else happened on Wednesday too, Hank, right?
Yes, we had Michael Laron in for it was an interview that was scheduled already for our normal author interviews that we have, but we rescheduled a couple of times with Michael because we had some things come up, and I told him when we settled on a day to reschedule that what we had going on this month, and he was fully amenable to kind of twist our interview time to better fit this format, and we had an excellent time with Michael. He is
Mhm.
a wealth of information, and you talk about somebody that is making it happen. Michael is one of the busiest people I have ever met, and consistently through that busyness produces more work than just about anybody that I know. And not just producing words, but producing words and building a fan base all at the
Mhm.
same time. Incredible guy. Somebody that I'm, just super thankful that I've gotten to know, and what a wonderful guy. And we have to say, we were thinking, we had another workshop planned for later this month, and some scheduling conflicts happened, and the person we were going to have for that will come at a later date, maybe next month. But Michael Laurent will be here the last week of this month to do uh, a workshop similar to the way Ines did one, and we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah.
more Michael Laurent coming this month.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really like listening to Michael speak, and I don't know, have we confirmed that he's not actually like a robot just in
No,
the
we have
appearance
not
of a
confirmed
human?
that. We
Okay,
have not
that makes
confirmed
sense.
that. Yeah,
Because
no,
for everyone in the chat, I was messaging Hank earlier today when I realized Michael has more than 90 books out.
right.
90.
90. Yes, yes, he's knocking on triple digits.
That's that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, we get to tap into that knowledge and all that
W
wealth.
while having a family, and his family likes him, so there seem to be no issues there. Working a full-time job, as an executive in the insurance industry, and just graduated law school.
Yeah.
And let's just say this, he went to law school because he wanted to better understand, contracts and things like that from an author's perspective. So to better understand that, he just went to law school and got a JD.
No big deal.
What? Yeah.
I'm
So
telling you, not
anyway,
human. Not human.
He did share some great insights though. He and I have talked in the past, and one time he talked about having had adopting the typing on his phone as a way to, he calls it writing in the cracks of life. And he told me that, like, he would went shopping with his wife, and his wife was trying on clothes, and so as a dutiful husband, he's sitting in the chair outside the the dressing room, waiting for his wife to try on things and come out and say, how does this look, and while he was sitting there, he pulls his phone out and he starts typing. And in the moments that he's being a dutiful husband, he gets 500 words, or whatever it was
Mhm.
at the time. Well, now he's doing that in addition to the time at his computer writing, which most of us do. And then he's also now added voice dictation as part of his daily productivity. And he talked about taking his dog on long walks, and he's dictating the whole time. And this time that he's just found ways to redeem time that's in everyone's day that we think we don't have time to spend, and he just finds ways to bring productivity into those spaces. If you haven't listened to that interview, I'll post a link here in just a second when I stop talking
Well,
and Doug takes over, because it is worth your time to listen to this interview.
absolutely. I do want to preface it with don't feel like you need to match that standard. Especially if you're just writing your first book or two, or I guess your first 45 if you're only aiming for half of what Michael Luron has written. Um, but yeah, there are definitely opportunities for finding those cracks to write in.
Right.
And that was something we actually talked about on Thursday, yesterday, when I put on our finish the first draft workshop, which I will admit, I'm not going to put on a brave face here. I thought I was quite nervous for. Uh, excited but
You
nervous.
talking about the
Uh,
Doug marathon session?
yeah. Hour and a half long workshop for free with the workbook that accompanied it yesterday, and it was a blast. I know there were some people that have been chatting here that joined me yesterday. Hank, you were hanging out in the chat yesterday
Yeah.
too. I had a lot of fun. I think other people had a lot of fun and took away a lot of valuable information from that, so I was thrilled at the end.
I'm
My throat hurt, but
I
I
was
was
about to say,
thrilled.
I'm sipping a drink now because my throat hurts for you.
I went through an entire glass of water and a half sharing that. So maybe I'll equip myself better for the next one.
Yeah, just have a pitcher next time, just ready to go.
Yeah, but yesterday we chatted about different writing techniques and strategies that you can use to finish your first draft to get more words written. One of
Right.
those I called them manufactured inspired moments, where you're kind of forcing yourself to find that inspiration in the spare minutes that you have, or planning ahead for them. We talked about common challenges and obstacles that writers face, and then we put together a whole writing plan. Went through step by step what you need to make your writing plan. It was a lot of fun. I'm so happy that people found it valuable. And same thing, if you weren't able to catch it, it's on our YouTube channel. It's there forever, um, or until YouTube it goes the way of the dinosaurs. But I don't know when that's going to happen. And the link to the free workbook, free 20-page workbook, is in that video description.
Yeah.
So it is there if you didn't catch it with us yesterday. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So now I do need to ask Hank, what was your favorite part about this week, if you had to pick one?
Ooh, we were so busy. My favorite part was,
Spending time with me.
yeah, I have to say, having you and Robert join in as other faces,
Hmm.
for the Dabble content has been a lot of fun. Because we've done close to 200 live author interviews, and it's me, and it's my face and voice, and it's just very nice to get to have other voices, and to have some fun conversation, that and I also love the workshops, which adds another layer of complexity is not the right word, another layer of value to the
Hmm.
content that we're generating as well. That's a lot of fun to get to steer the content in a little different direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that we can support people in their
Yeah,
journey more than just, giving them a place to write, a very good tool to write on. And even more than the articles that we put on W or the podcast where we learn from all these successful authors and experts, it's cool to deliver that value to
yeah,
people. And
absolutely.
it is, I thoroughly enjoy doing these live chats with you too. It was it was a little weird being by myself yesterday for the
I bet it
workshop.
was.
I start talking and it's like, who am I talking to? But then
Right.
everyone sprang up in chat, so that made me feel,
About to say you had a very lively chat, which
yeah,
definitely helps.
yeah, it absolutely helped for sure.
Yeah.
So that I will say that was my favorite part. Absolutely was the workshop. But you raise valid points in helping others and getting more faces. Okay, Hank, you you selfless individual. Okay, so that was our favorite stuff from this past week, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of exciting things that happened. But there's even more stuff coming up this month for May. And I know there was a request earlier this week when we launched to make a calendar. I will have that made early next week. I pinky promise it will happen because I see here Ilsa miscalculated the time for the writing sprint and Chris logged on 5 hours before an event. So we will get a Google Calendar made up so that it can localize the time for you and you can figure
Yeah.
out when you can join us.
Just
Um,
to to say something to that, we went through this a couple of years ago, and we were trying to figure out when we have an event, what time do we standardize on? And we just picked Eastern time just because we had to pick something. And you know, time zones are my kryptonite, and I have been late to an appointment or an interview or something so many times because I calculated time zones in the wrong direction. So yes, we're definitely gonna. If that happened to anyone, trust me, it's happened to us just as many times as it's ever happened to you. And yeah, we're gonna try to
Absolutely.
figure
And
out a way
even
to make that easier.
the Dabble team is spread across 3 different time zones, and there's
Yes.
only 5 of us. So
Yeah.
so that's a high percentage, and I see every time we've done an event this week, a lot of people in the chat. We have people from London, we have people from Mexico, Netherlands, France, like, there have been a lot of people from all over the world, so
We
we
had some folks
appreciate
from
you dropping
Africa
in.
earlier this week.
Yeah, yeah, someone from Ghana, which was really cool. So we appreciate you dropping in when it might not be the most advantageous time zone for you, living in the future from us. But we'll try and get that set up to make it as seamless as possible for you.
Yeah.
So I guess we should chat about what's coming up next week, though. The stuff that I will be filling that calendar with, and one of the things coming up will be you and I doing our craft Q&A office hours.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. So the point of that is that we will have a form set up at the start of next week that we'll send out for dabblers like yourselves to submit questions that you might have about the craft, and that can we might have a theme for that week's office hours, or it might just be a free for all. Hey, I have this particular question. Shoot it in. We'll review them. Try to answer as many as we can during a live session, just like this one, and hopefully you can tune in for that. If not, it'll get banked on YouTube for anyone to watch afterwards. So I'm looking forward to that, Hank.
Absolutely. That's gonna be a lot of fun, and, that will differ slightly from our fireside chats, where
Hmm.
Doug and Hank pick a topic, and we don't tell each other what we're bringing to the table, and we just exchange hot takes for an hour, and that is so much fun when we do that. But this will be a little more structured toward what you might want to
Yeah,
get from a conversation, and not just Hank and Doug, you know, coming up with our best
rambling.
one-liners.
Now the fireside chats are what do we think is relevant, and we chat
Right.
about it and we have a good time. Now the craft
Yeah.
Q&A office hours is what does everyone out there think is relevant, and we'll answer those directly to the best of our
Right.
ability. We'll try and help
Yeah.
people out with that.
Yeah.
Also, what we're getting coming up is what we're calling Feedback Fridays, and this one I'm really excited for because one of the
This is gonna
things
be a
that has
lot of fun.
oh yeah, one of the things that's come up throughout the sessions this week is people are uncomfortable with the idea of getting feedback, getting beta reader feedback or editor feedback, or they just don't know what that process looks like. Because if you haven't finished a book, first of all, if you haven't gone through the steps and sought out that feedback, of course you don't know what it looks like. You haven't been there. But even people who have done it a handful of times might still be nervous about it. They still might not know what to expect, or they're changing who they work with, so they don't know what that looks like. So Feedback Fridays is going to be a chance for people, Dabble Premium subscribers, to submit a piece of their work, and we'll draw kind of lottery style to pick one, maybe two. We'll see. I don't want to promise things when Robert's not here, but we'll pick some stuff to review. We'll give it line editor feedback from myself, and Robert, who hosted our uh, Writing Sprint Wednesday, will give it beta reader feedback. We'll provide that back to the author who submitted it, and then on the Friday of that Feedback Friday, we will go over it live, looking at how feedback is given and what kind of things we pointed out or things that we think authors could benefit from understanding a little bit better. So that'll be a lot of fun, and maybe we'll get Hank's writing and we'll just criticize that and be ruthless about
Why not? Why not?
it.
I I wanna interject something.
Yeah.
We have these different events, on the calendar, and we say this will be hosted by Hank, or this is Hank and Doug, or this one might be Robert. We reserve the right that if one of us has something going on, that one of the other of us might step in. So on a Writing Spirit Wednesday, you will most of the time get Robert. You might see Hank or Doug pop in, or any of the others. So that's another fun aspect of you never know what might happen.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we have our roster that can rotate in and out depending on,
Mm,
people have vacation or days off or
yeah,
people get
yeah.
sick. So you'll be seeing
And
our faces all around.
the fun thing about, Dabble is, we all, wear different hats, in our roles at Dabble, but we're all writers, also. Everyone here at this company is a writer. So, anyone can step in and, man other post, because we're all in this community together.
Yep, absolutely. And so for Feedback Friday, there will be a form going out next week that you'll be able to fill out and submit to get a chance to have feedback on your work. Something else going out next week will be the first deep dive newsletter, which is where we'll be taking a very in-depth look at a particular topic or aspect of writing and provide some sort of resource to add to your toolkit for it. So keep an eye out on your inbox for that next week. I'm not sure exactly which day it's going out, but it will be there. And since we have some live events, I'll be sure to remind you if you tune in for that. And I'm always excited for that. Like I started with Dabble as I started with Dabble as a customer first, and then I joined on to write Dabble U articles. So really diving into those specific topics and getting into the weeds with them is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to bring that to people.
And Doug, can I clarify that the
Yeah.
deep dive newsletter is in addition to our normal Wednesday Dabble newsletter, where Robert always finds fun information about events that we have, but then he also has a section in there where it's writing prompts, or maybe he has an article that goes deep on something. But this is in addition to that goes even deeper, right?
Correct. Yeah. So this is going to be a premium newsletter. So for this month, it is going out twice for everybody. Come June, it will be for premium subscribers only. But it is in addition to the regular. Hey, check out these cool events, either our events or external events, writing
Right.
contests, writing prompts, like you said. Just some extra information for you. Patricia asking, perhaps I missed it. What's the process for submitting work for Feedback Friday? There will be, with the deep dive newsletter next week. It will include a section that has the link to the Feedback Friday submission form, and you'll just have to click that. And there's a little bit of information to fill out, like your name, email, add on your submission, and it'll be in there. It will usually have some kind of theme associated with it too. So perhaps we're going to be looking for like a dialogue heavy submission, or a sword fight, or a particular setting description or world building, just so we can get some more tailored feedback for people.
Right.
But yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for that deep dive newsletter next week, and it will have the information that you need in there. Thank you for that question. I should have been more clear on that.
Mm.
All right. So you might think that's all because there's a lot of stuff, but there's in fact even more coming this month. There is, so I hosted that workshop yesterday for Finish the First Draft, but I will be hosting another workshop later this month. I think we have it penciled in on the 23rd.
I think
Um,
that's right.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
2 weeks from yesterday,
Yes.
and that will be writing darn good dialogue is what I'm calling it, and we will be looking at everything in dialogue from the basics that people think they know but they usually don't, to more advanced how to write realistic dialogue, how to get better at writing dialogue, how to use dialogue as a tool to advance the plot and share themes. So I'm really excited for that one. That will come with its own resource as well. So we will have the link soon on YouTube for you to click the little notification bell, but we'll also have, like I said, that calendar for you to keep track of events in as of next week.
Right.
But Hank, you also mentioned Michael Laron coming back.
Yes. And I think we landed on the 28th for the date. And his topic is which one did we
I
I'm
think that was
scrolling up. Leveling up your author mindset. So this will be a little different, um, but he sent us a couple to choose from, and we liked the kind of what the way he was thinking in that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of
yeah.
fun. We'll put some information out about that so that you can prepare for it, but that's gonna be it. So he goes into, if you want to accomplish, more than you think you can,
Hmm.
this is how to get in that frame of mind to start thinking in those ways, to thinking in ways where you can see the cracks of life that you can take advantage of, like we
Yeah.
said, we don't expect everyone to have the level of commitment or whatever it is that Michael has, but you can, like, I've found that I can do more than I thought I could, and it's just all about changing your mindset, and we're gonna go deep on that day.
Yeah, and he does it while emphasizing that you should still be enjoying your writing.
Yeah,
You don't burn yourself out. Don't do it
right,
until, you're 6 feet under. Like, it is still something you should be passionate about, but just leveling up that mindset, as he says it.
right.
So, very excited for that. Again, more details to come for that. But just to recap, I guess we have everything that we did this week on our YouTube channel. We have craft Q&A office hours. We have feedback Fridays. We have the new deep dive newsletter with resources. We have our custom in-house workshops and guest workshops. All of that coming this month. It's a loaded month. I'm looking at a little like table calendar that I made in a Word document or a Google document. It's packed. It's a lot going on there,
Yes,
and I am so excited for it. I think it's going to be so valuable for our dabblers.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and valuable and fun.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the most important part. If we're not having fun, if you're not having fun, then it's not gonna hit the same, right? You can go read a
Right,
textbook then,
right,
but that's not what
and
we want to do here.
yeah, and
Chris
Chris,
prodding us to
yeah, we're working on it, I promise. I
Yeah.
think Doug said he's gonna try to get that out, early next week.
Yeah, we will do that. When we do it, we will share it on our socials, and then we will share it in the deep dive newsletter as well.
Yeah,
So make sure that you're following us on Facebook or Twitter or subscribed here on YouTube.
yeah,
I think we can
we
post
can,
community updates here, right?
yeah, we can do community update, and we'll make a graphic that'll show up in your YouTube feed as
Perfect,
well.
perfect, awesome. And so I mean, that's really it. We just wanted to hop on here. We want to thank everybody for all the engagement, all the excitement this week, for participating in our workshops and our chats, and just to get you amped up for what's coming. Because again, remember, all of this stuff that we're bringing, it is for Dabble Premium, no extra charge for premium users, but for this entire month, it is free for everybody. So you can get a sneak peek to see, hey, is this worth my investment, my money, to make me a better author, to help me pursue my writing dreams. And
Right.
so hopefully you find a lot of value in the I don't know, a dozen events lined up for the rest of the month. Yeah, there's a lot
Absolutely.
coming.
Yeah. So everyone have a
Awesome.
great weekend. Get lots of words in,
Mhm.
and, take some time and, find the joy in your writing again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're stopping at the half hour mark today, which is uncharacteristically short for us. So I will say, if you have an extra 10 minutes and thought we were going to ramble on for a little bit longer, go write for 10 minutes. Get some words in, and then next time you join us live, let me know how many words you wrote in those 10 minutes. And that'll just make my day.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week for our first craft Q&A office hours. The link for that will go out shortly, but be sure to subscribe here on YouTube so that you can get that notification yourself.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.